Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. Last night officially began the road to WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble. So, let's talk about what happened because quite a bit went down. So, as always, I'm not a professional wrestling reviewer or analyst, just a man who enjoys a good time. And on the whole, I had a pretty solid time in watching the Royal Rumble. This year's Royal Rumble went in with a lot of expectation and a lot of excitement. Did it live up to all of it? Not quite. Although I think in hindsight, some of that may have been. I think it was Simon Miller who put it best. And Simon Miller from, of course, What Culture, who put it best. We may have overhyped ourselves just a little bit with all the possibilities. Some of the possibilities were realized. Some predictions came true. Some didn't. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So if you've seen these reviews before, you kind of know how this works. If you haven't, I'm gonna be talking about what I liked and disliked about the matches, and I will go match by match. So a couple things though. For starters, in my predictions, I forgot to mention who would be match of the night. I did the same thing when I predicted World's End, and but I think it was kind of expected that the match of the night would definitely be the Rumble matches. But because there was also four matches on the card, which may not seem like a lot, but these were pretty lengthy matches. These some long matches. Because of that, instead of saying what the best and weakest match, the best and worst / strongest weakest match of the night were, or I'm just going to rank all four matches in order from weakest to strongest. So starting with the opening match was the Women's Royal Rumble, and this one was a lot of fun. Also worth mentioning, I was over at my brother's place, and we were watching the Rumble and everything, and especially he with them, it was a lot of fun. But even on its own, this was a pretty cool Rumble. Well, quite a bit happened. Some surprises is not in terms of the winner, and I think in my predictions I was like 50-50s. Like half I got right, half the card I got right, half I got wrong. So I was pretty much on my Thanos ish for this one. But yeah, so Bailey walking out victorious is so I imagine this means that we are going to be getting Bailey versus Io Sky. The damage control implosion, or at least Bailey just being excommunicated from the damage control at WrestleMania. But otherwise, some pretty fun stuff, including Naomi. Naomi's back, and you can tell that she's back because she's referred to as Naomi and not Trinity Fatu. So Naomi is back in WWE. A lot of people said she would be there. I'm surprised I didn't mention that she may be there in my predictions for entrance. But I did kind of figure, or although I was also kind of, I think at that point it wasn't known that she was going to like officially be leaving TNA and everything. But she's back, heck, and she's here. But she's not the only person from TNA because we got Jordan Grace. No lie, my jaw dropped when I saw Jordan Grace come out the Forbidden Door truly has been. Ooh, apparently Triple H doesn't like using the words Forbidden Door. But nevertheless, the Forbidden Door has been creaked open, and Jordan Grace making an appearance, and that is pretty cool. How we have now two Rumbles having some appearances from TNA superstars, especially or wrestlers, however you refer to them, and it makes even more sense with a potential working agreement now between TNA and Endeavor, including TNA going to Endeavor's streaming service. So now WWE and TNA, kind of a working relationship. Otherwise, some other names, Roxanne Perez and Tiffany Stratton come up from NXT. Jade Cargill making her debut, and single-handedly eliminating Nia Jax. Now that is how you make a star. And having her be among like the final four, or her or that is how you make a star. Liv Morgan is officially back as well. They said that her arrest and everything wouldn't derail her return plans, so I guess these were the plans. But it essentially came down to her and Bayley, although Liv got eliminated pretty much immediately after, or immediately after. I believe the person who was eliminated before her was Jade Cargill. So Liv Morgan immediately eliminated afterwards. So Bayley has gone on to win the Rumble. So I imagine, and we'll see what they do with the storyline, if she'll go after Io Sky directly, or if they'll try to do what they did with Batista and Evolution, where they try to say, go after Rhea Ripley. She's champion on Raw, just for Bayley to instead challenge Io Sky. And they have been teasing at it, of course, with them slowly excommunicating Bayley. But thankfully, it's not all doom and gloom, because Bayley, as a face, has worked under Triple H, and I imagine it probably will here as well. But yeah, pretty fun Rumble. Saw some cool moments, including R-Truth coming out. Literally, we were all dying laughing when R-Truth came out. I was asking, where all the men at? And that just be dumped out by Nia Jax. Which is a nice callback, because I believe Nia Jax did eliminate R-Truth from the 2019 Rumble when Nia Jax entered. Yes, Nia Jax entered the men's Rumble after she lost in the women's Rumble. Well, she entered the men's Rumble and got RKO'd for her troubles by Randy Orton, which we'll get to. But yeah, so just a lot of fun, a pretty fun match, and a nice way to wake the crowd up. Had some surprises. You knew Bayley was winning, but people were still happy to see her win. So props to that. And thankfully this year also they had the Royal Rumble open and close the show. Me personally, although don't get me wrong, last year we got the awesome face turn from Sami Zayn as he finally turned on Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. But I personally do feel that the Royal Rumble should open and close the show. Because it is the namesake of the event, and especially one of the magnitude of the Rumble. I think with maybe Money in the Bank, or possibly even Elimination Chamber, although or more so Money in the Bank. I don't know. I don't necessarily know about Elimination Chamber, because, as you know, normally ending off the show with an Elimination Chamber as well does kind of work. But Money in the Bank, I feel like there's a little bit more leeway where you kind of can get away with not having a Money in the Bank end off the show. But especially for the Royal Rumble, I feel like, hey, you open with the Rumble and you close with the Rumble. Which order you decide to go, men or women, and either or. But I do feel like, me personally, I do feel like the show should open and close with the Rumble match. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. But then next up, speaking of Roman, is the Fatal 4-Way for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship, as Roman Reigns seeks to defend against AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. All three guys who are gunning for the Bloodline. All three guys that Roman Reigns has wronged. I'm sorry. and all three guys looking for championship gold. And I do like how not just in the promo package, but how the story throughout has been built. All three guys essentially have their reasons why they want to go after Roman, and it leads to this match. If anything, Roman attacking all three on SmackDown, causing Nick Aldis to make the match, was more of a formality. But with AJ, he was sidelined, taken out by the Bloodline, as he was about to team up with John Cena at Fastlane, and Randy Orton, he was out for over a year, almost 2 years, because about a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken, because of the Bloodline. They took he and Matt Riddle's tag team championships, which how they unified the titles in the first place, and they still haven't ununified them, and still no titles unveiled. Meanwhile, with LA Knight, him being screwed out of the championship back at Crown Jewel, him essentially having the match won just for it to be taken. So all three of these guys have vendetta against Roman, and of course there's no champion's advantage, no disqualification, no outs, and this match still was pretty cool. About 19 minutes. It's which, if anything, is pretty short for a Roman Reigns match, if you can believe it. But also a great thing about multi-man matches is you can still have action, and even when you don't have all four guys present, and even if you just have two or even three, so it's not like a one-on-one, and like we're used to with Roman Reigns, where a lot of time is put in stalling, unfortunately. But while Roman's taken out, these two other guys are battling, and then while someone else is taken out, other two guys are battling, or sometimes three guys. Not as many fatal four-way spots, but it was cool to see. First of all, Solo got involved, because of course he did, and someone made a comment on Twitter that I laughed at, but it's also true. Why does Solo still show up with the hood? We know it's you. We know it's him. There's no point in hiding. But nonetheless, he did. He pulled the ref out of the ring, and took out Randy, took out LA Knight. But then took himself out as he was going with the hip attack, and AJ moved out of the way. So Solo went through the barricade, and he was like pretty much gone for the rest of the match. So not as much bloodline interference as usual. So points to Roman on that. But nevertheless. Roman eating three fish, or he took the BFT, then he took the Styles Clash, and props to AJ on the strength to be able to nail the Styles Clash on Roman. Although I don't think it's the first time. If I'm not mistaken, I think AJ was able to deliver the Styles Clash when he and Roman fought all the way back in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've seen those matches, so I'll have to go back and verify. And then Randy, of course, nailing the RKO, but Roman and pretty much taking out all three opponents in rapid succession. First the spear to LA Knight, then the Superman punch to, or actually it was the spear to Randy, then Superman punch to LA Knight, then the spear to AJ, and that's how he finished off the match. He sadly wasn't able to stack him. Solo tried stacking him, but that's when he subsequently got taken out. But sadly wasn't quite able to stack him. But Roman still picked up the win. So pretty solid match. Best Roman title defense, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but it was still pretty fun, and if anything, definitely a change of pace and breath of fresh air from just the tried and true rinse and repeat. Still some bloodline shenanigans, but not as many. I guess points to that. But then next up was the U.S. title match as Logan Paul defended against Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens won the tournament to battle. His hand has been hurt, including when he punched Hogan, and Hogan and sporting a shiner on his eye. He's saying he's going to try to sue Kevin that the cast may be a weapon, and so those have been in play. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are now hanging around Logan Paul. Also, will they come into play in this match? Let's find out. But this one pretty good between the two, and it's crazy that at Logan they definitely. Logan they definitely are pushing him, the fact that he's having these matches with these top talents, such as Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns or Rey Mysterio or Ricochet. But you can also tell Logan doing the work on his own end, and that's why I say what you want about him as a person, but when it comes to pro wrestling, he definitely gets it, and that's really awesome to see. Some of the story told throughout this match, Logan going after Kevin Owens' hand, and eating quite a few shots, including some chops to the chest, where even Logan Paul's chest was bleeding. Not as excessive as when Jericho started bleeding after being chopped repeatedly in the chest, but you can see the welts and everything. Logan, and definitely taking the blows, taking it serious. There's some pretty good action throughout, including apparently Corey Graves mentioned on commentary, and Logan pointed this out first before Corey expounded upon it on commentary. Apparently, no one has superplexed Kevin Owens. Now, I don't quite know if that's true. I'll have to go back in the vault and check on that. But nevertheless, Logan still didn't superplex him here either. Kevin Owens instead had nailing a suplex of his own, like a turning suplex. I forget the exact name of the move, pretty much reversing it on Logan. And the ending of the match was interesting to say the least. It was not gonna lie, kind of a range of emotions. So how it ends a member of Logan Paul's entourage. And they pointed out the same guy who cost Ray at Crown Jewel, although, as Carlito pointed out, it wasn't him, it was Santos Escobar. But the same guy shows up, and the referee is like, nope, you gotta go. If anything, that's kind of telling on what's gonna happen later on. The ref had noticed him, is like, nope, you gotta go. The agents then try to kick him out. Then Austin Theory, he and Grayson Waller try to vouch for him, but in all the commotion and stuff, Austin Theory slips Logan Paul the brass nut. So it was a red herring. It was a red herring. Which really quick. I get it. Logan Paul's supposed to heel, cheating to win, but Logan Paul already has the titanium fist, which he uses for the lucky punch. And I know why that's the case. I believe it stems from an accident he had. I'm not sure if it quite was the motorcycle accident or if it was something when he was younger, but I know he did have to have his hand surgically repaired and pretty much held together with the titanium and everything. But then why the brass knuckles? Honestly, the hand itself is already a weapon. If anything, the brass knuckles are kind of unnecessary. But nevertheless, Logan goes to nail Kevin Owens. Kevin reversed it, nails Logan with the brass knuckles. Goes for the pin. But the referee notices the brass knuckles on Kevin Owens' hand, and thus rules it as disqualification. So a couple things about that. First of all, Kevin's been a face for too long to the point where he forgot how to heel. You're always supposed to hide the evidence, man. Come on. But also, that referee should be in charge of every single match ever. Or like between the stuff on the outside and then the brass knuckles, he's noticing stuff. And it's funny he as well, because all the stigma has always been for referees that they're dumb, they don't notice stuff. But then here's the ref noticing stuff, and people get mad at him for noticing. Like, now he notices. Now you notice. That's not. It's like it is somewhat inconsistent, but at the same time, and props to the ref for actually doing his job and noticing for the time being. So, Kevin Owens does lose there. They kind of try to pass it off as kind of controversial, but at the same time, no, Kevin used the brass knucks. It doesn't care who started it. Kevin Owens, oh my god, I sound like a parent when I say that. When you get in trouble, it's like, no, he started it. No, I don't care who started it. You still punched him, so you're still in trouble. Well, Kevin still used the brass knucks. Logan Paul introduced it, and Logan was gonna use it anyway. But he still noticed it. So, what will follow this be? Will Kevin Owens get a rematch? We will find out. But Logan Paul does retain. But then Kevin Owens does beat him up some more and puts him through the announce table. So, at least gets the more victory there. And I'm sure Samantha Irvin was very happy about that. But nevertheless, that's the last but certainly not least in your main event. And for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 40, 30 guys, is who's going to walk out victorious? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes walking out the victor. Now, honestly, I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest. I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. I did not think Cody was winning this match. Now in hindsight, it's more of a hindsight thing because as they touted it so much, they kept bringing up, the last person someone went back-to-back years was Stone Cold back in 97 and 98, even though he technically lost in 97 Rumble. The last person was Stone Cold in 97 and 98. Nobody in 27 years has done the same, or 20 23, 20, 24, or 20 something years, over 2 decades. No one has done the same. And so really that kind of was giving it away, but at the same time, I wasn't even thinking that. And if anything, that's a testament to how well it's been built up, because there was quite a few names that could have walked out victorious. A lot of people had their theory, meaning it was built up in a major way. Some were saying Gunther, some were saying Cody, some were saying Punk. I was definitely saying Punk, but nevertheless, Cody defying the expectations. And if anything, CM Punk brought it on himself, saying that he's not going to lose to Dusty's Kid right before he loses to Dusty's Kid. So Cody Rhodes, he's winning. He pointed at Roman and said, he's making his intentions clear, because Roman and Seth were up in the crowd and everything, like way up in their own private sectors. Cody's making his intentions clear. He's coming after Roman. He's finishing the story. Unless The Rock wants to get involved, and unless The Rock gets his way, but otherwise he's finishing the story. But the match itself, admittedly, as fun as the women's, I wouldn't say that, but it's still pretty cool. Not as many surprises. Andrade did show up, which was pretty cool. It looks like he's got new theme music, so he's back, I guess. He's back. We see the feud being continued from between Karrion Kross and his faction, aka the Final Testament, against Bobby Lashley. But Bobby eliminated Kross, but then Kross eliminated Bobby, and then they were brawling on the outside, and it was funny seeing Ludwig Kaiser's reactions as they were brawling past him as he was entering in the match next. Like his facial, like that's some good facial expressions, and facial expressions in wrestling is key, and Ludwig Kaiser's got it, but there was some other pretty fun stuff as well, including some NXT appearances from Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, which we will definitely get to. They made some appearances. Omos made an appearance and pretty much got almost single-handedly eliminated by Braun Breaker. I called it as it would happen, and it did happen, but Braun definitely was impressive. But now, speaking of which, I guess now's a good time ever to bring it up. So apparently Braun and or Pat McAfee were kind of the fail-safe for Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar was supposed to make an appearance, but because of what's going on, they decided to cancel that. So they essentially had to conjure up something, almost on the fly, as to who would be his replacement. And they're kind of going back and forth. Some are saying that the replacement was. Some were saying the replacement was Braun Breaker. Some were saying it's Pat McAfee. And you could tell Pat McAfee kind of looked out of his element there. Some people were complaining because Pat McAfee came in and noticed the two big men in Braun Breaker and Omos staring at him and then exited back out. Some were saying it's a waste of a spot. And I can see that. But at the same time, it definitely was supposed to be more of a comedy spot. And those are usually fun in Rumbles. But also B, in that situation, what are you gonna do? Don't tell me, like, if that was a real situation, if wrestling was real, hey, you saw two big men staring at you about to come in the ring. What are you gonna do? Don't tell me you're gonna go and fight them. Some people I'm sure definitely would and would get the crap stomped out of them. But me, I'm turning my ass around. I'm leaving the ring, and that's exactly what Pat McAfee did. And apparently, everything that happened with Braun Breaker was supposed to happen with Brock Lesnar, meaning Brock Lesnar was gonna be eliminated by Dirty Dom Mysterio. Obviously, the allegations and everything are very serious, and it was right to pull Brock. But at the same time, him being eliminated by Dom, is it bad that I kind of want to see that? At least see how that pans out. I imagine it would be that elimination, and then Dom immediately gets the crap beaten out of him afterwards. But But not as many surprise appearances this time around, but then again, they didn't overload it. We had a couple. We still had some pretty fun moments, including R-Truth. R-Truth essentially got two major laughs out of me in the same night. Coming in, waiting for the tag from Tom. Tom follows through with it. And R-Truth goes on his run, idolizing his childhood hero John Cena. But then, even more interesting, and some further storying, Damian Priest comes in, immediately decks R-Truth and just dumps him out. Yeesh, what happened, man? I guess Damian Priest found out that the TV R-Truth brought in didn't work or something. But nevertheless, as Cody Rhodes still walking out the victory, and I think having him and CM Punk be the last two in, and pretty much again setting that stage for what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Cody going after. And that's why I noticed with the women's rumble as well. It's pretty much setting the stage for Mania in that regard. Or with Liv Morgan, a lot of people speculating that she will go after Rhea Ripley. Meanwhile, Bayley going after Io Sky, and same with the men's rumble, with Cody Rhodes going after Roman and CM Punk now going after Seth. So setting those stages is unexpected, but it was still pretty welcome, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. I didn't expect Cody to win, but hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm definitely not mad at it. Cody, I'm sure, hopefully will finish the story this time around. And the fact that Cody spent more time in this one compared to last year, where last year he came at number 30, this year had to come in at number 15, and even more props to Cody. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for the Rumble. So from weakest to strongest, the weakest I probably gotta give the U.S. title match compared to everything else. Then right after that would be the Universal title match. Those matches were still pretty decent, but just not quite as big or as good, I would say, as the other two matches. Which it's then in the second best, I would give the men's rumble, and then the best would be the women's rumble. The rumbles were pretty fun. The other matches, they did what they needed to do, pretty much giving people that breather, the time to catch their breath between rumbles. But yeah, so a pretty solid show, all things considered. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload videos, so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the Rumble, the event, and where you think we're going to be in the road to WrestleMania. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.